Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with a news update. Yes, John Klingberg is now an Edmonton Oiler. It's being reported by numerous insiders that he has signed with Edmonton. Have no idea what the dollar figure looks like, no idea what the salary cap figure looks like. As long as it's around league minimum, I'm okay with this, and we're gonna talk about it. There's a lot to talk about with this player, a lot of discourse surrounding him, his fit with the team. So I'm gonna kind of project where he might fit in the lineup with the Edmonton Oilers, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, and obviously his injury history. If John Klingberg, who was an instrumental part in the Dallas Stars' run to the Stanley Cup final in the 2019-2020 season, if he's anywhere close to that level, the Oilers have obviously picked up a really, really good player, but with the injuries that he had hip resurfacing surgery in 2023, and he has been trying to recover and get back into game shape ever since. He did play a little bit with the Leafs last season, did not play a whole lot. Year before, he was with Minnesota. Year before that, he was with Anaheim. He has not actually played a full season since 2017-18 or something outrageous like that. It's been a long time for John Klingberg. Obviously, I don't expect John Klingberg to jump into this lineup as a immediate top four defenseman playing 20 minutes a night. However, the opportunity is there for him to find his game and help the Edmonton Oilers with a lack on defense in terms of puck moving. Now, I think they had Josh Brown up for the last couple weeks just to see what they had in case there's an injury. Obviously, Josh Brown, he must not be the fit that the team is looking for, so they've gone out, they've signed John Klingberg. There was a lot of rumors during the summer that Klingberg was going to sign in Edmonton too. So let's talk about this player. If you enjoy this news update, make sure to hit the like button. And if you really enjoyed and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe as we produce a lot more amazing Oilers content, and we are growing an amazing community here on YouTube. So let's take a look at John Klingberg. Some of his strengths, his passing, real good passer. His skating, obviously, with the hip resurfacing surgery, you hope that his skating is up to snuff. Before the hip injuries and other injuries that he's had throughout his career, he was a really, really smooth, strong skater. His offensive awareness, his ability to get pucks towards goal, his ability to find players on the power play, really, really strong. Of course, power play is also a strength of his. I don't imagine him getting a lot of power play time with the Edmonton Oilers, mostly because they have Evan Bouchard who runs that top unit. However, he is not too bad to put out there as a second option if you need him. Some of his weaknesses throughout his entire career, obviously he is not a physical defenseman. The Oilers, I don't think, need physical D-man right now. His defensive zone coverage is kind of scary. If you start cycling around him, he's pretty chaotic in the defensive zone. He does skate around a lot. Not like Darnell Nurse when he was with Cody Ceci, but John Klingberg, there's some similarities there. If you get him running around, he's not exactly great defensively. And of course, his injury trouble over the past several years has been worrisome. He has just played 81 games since the 22-23 season. In those 81 games, 10 goals, 28 assists, 38 points, a plus-minus of -32. He has a 40.7 goals for percentage and a 43 expected goals for percentage. It's really, really tough to get a gauge of where his game is at until he actually steps into the lineup with the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, his numbers are going to look really poor in his past 3 seasons. They were all shortened due to injury, and he has not been anywhere near 100% for several years now. Probably not since the 1920 COVID-shortened season where Dallas went to the Stanley Cup final, where Klingberg was instrumental. Like I said, I think he had 21 points in that playoff run, and he played great. He was playing 24 minutes a night, and he was amazing. So where do I project John Klingberg with the Edmonton Oilers? If he's at it depends what you can get out of him, but right now, I would project Ekholm to remain with Bouchard just because that has been Edmonton's number one pair for quite some time. This is where it gets interesting. Darnell Nurse with John Klingberg would be the optimal pairing. Number one, Darnell Nurse, he plays his best hockey when he's with a puck mover, when he's with someone who can move the puck up the ice. Darnell Nurse's game this season overall has been very strong. I've really liked his game. He's even been a lot better at moving the puck himself, but historically, Darnell Nurse, he gets his best results when he's with a puck mover, whether that's an Evan Bouchard earlier in Bouchard's career, and with Brett Kulak this season too, gets a lot of minutes with Kulak, and for the most part, their numbers at 5-on-5 are very, very strong. So Nurse Klingberg would be the most optimal situation if he is healthy. You need Klingberg to be healthy, and I don't know how many games he's going to get into. I don't know what kind of trial run they're going to give him. I don't know how much time it's going to take before he even gets into the lineup, but that's where I would project him potentially long-term towards the end of the season. Kulak, I'd like to remain with Emberson. I don't think Emberson's ready for the top 4 role yet. He's been very solid defensively, but Kulak and Emerson on that third pair is great. Klingberg gives you a lot of depth options, and then Stetcher and Josh Brown, of course, will be your number 7, number 8 D-men. Nothing against Troy Stetcher, but if John Klingberg is even anywhere near his game from a few years ago, obviously I think this is a really good pickup for the Edmonton Oilers and a stylistic fit for this team. The Oilers, as we all know, they're kind of an older team. They're kind of a slower team. John Klingberg is on the wrong side of 30 years old in terms of father time, slowing players down. Only time will tell where his game is at, whether he's a proper fit with the Edmonton Oilers and whether he helps the team long term. I think he's a really good low risk, high reward option right now for a team that desperately needs some players on the back end to be able to move the puck up to their forwards and try and limit how much time they're spending in the defensive zone. Obviously, there's going to be pressure there for John Klingberg. And if he's able to play at a pretty good level, if he's able to, be comfortable out there, I think the Oilers' defensive system will allow him to thrive. They're not super aggressive in terms of how they play, and his skating will be very important, especially when it comes to cutting off lanes in the neutral zone, when it comes to cutting off potential passing options, and then, of course, using his own speed and skill, his offensive instincts and awareness to move the puck up the ice, get the puck to your skilled players, and allow them to do their thing. I like this fit for the Edmonton Oilers. Long term, we'll see how it works out, and of course, until we know what the salary cap figure is too, I'm not going to overreact to this. If John Klingberg is nowhere near where he used to be, if he continues to struggle, obviously this is a player that you can bury, you can cut loose later in the year, at end of the season, as long as it's a 1-year deal, as long as Stan Bowman, if it comes out that Bowman gave him like a 4-year contract, I'm probably going to freak out. But at the moment, I think this is a interesting fit for the Oilers. The amount of rumors during the summer about this player being linked to Edmonton, a lot of fans. I know there's a lot of fans right now watching that maybe you think I'm being too kind to this player. I know a lot of Oilers fans, the analytics community at least, is not a big fan of him. He has not put up strong metrics in a very long time. So we'll see how he fits. We'll see if Paul Coffey can work with him. I have a lot of trust in Paul Coffey. I have a lot of trust in Chris Knobloch to get the most out of this specific player. And if John Klingberg can get his game to a good level heading into the Stanley Cup playoffs, I think this is absolutely huge, very beneficial, and it just gives the Oilers a lot more depth on the blue line. So we'll see how it turns out, Oil fans. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this player. Let me know if you think this is a good fit or if they should win after someone else. And let me know if the Oilers should be still trading for another top 4 D-man at the trade deadline, because obviously, best case scenario, Klingberg plays at a really high level, top 4 level caliber D-man. They likely don't need another top 4 D-man at the trade deadline, and then they can focus their efforts elsewhere. It's going to be really interesting to see where the Oilers go from here. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed this news update. And of course, as always, tell someone that you love them and fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers.